All right, Unit 5, Day 4 notes. Your objectives are at the top. Usually, for this particular days of notes, we're going to be looking at slope and finding the slope from points and using your y-intercept and slope to graph. We're doing a lot of different things during this time period. During these days of notes. So when we're starting here, this is just like some keys to pay attention to. Positive and negative, 0 and undefined. It wants you to, for each line, determine whether the slope is positive, negative, 0, and undefined. Usually how I would do that, I would tell my students to draw a house, okay? Drawing a house. And this here is positive. So starting from left to right, moving up is positive. Down here is negative. So if you have a line that looks like that, it'll be a positive slope. If it has a line that looks like that, it'll be a negative slope. If it's straight across, that one has a 0 slope, okay? 0. And if it's up and down, it's undefined, okay? So that is what's going on with the slope situation. So straight across is 0, up and down is undefined, positive and negative. But they usually draw this house and then they can figure these out. So here, of course, this looks like it's like the negative portion of our home. It's like the right-hand side is going down. This is a negative slope, okay? Up and down, of course, is undefined. So this one is undefined. Straight across, 0. We see that here from our little house that we drew. And if you're going up, moving up in a positive direction, it's positive slope. Okay. All right, so this particular one, again, it's really, really good if you guys can print these out and then you'll be able to see it a little better. It's hard to see some of these graphs on the camera that I have. So if you print them out, it'll be easier for you to kind of figure it out. For here, for your slope, I would always start from the bottom point. Regardless of wherever your points are, start from the bottommost points and move upward. That's what I would say. And I usually do the same thing for every problem. So here, I'm going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to get to the same place as this point here. I moved up 7. So 7 up is the top for your slope. And then I move to the left. So I moved up 7, and then I move to the left 1, looks like 1, 2. Left 2 is negative. If you're moving in the negative direction, then you have to put a negative number. If you're moving left or down, you have to put negative, okay? So in this case, since I'm always moving from my bottom, the top number is always going to be positive, and then I move to the left 2, so I have to put that at the bottom. Okay, so my slope is 7/2, okay? And if I could simplify, I would, but in this case, I can't. So let's start, like I said, from the bottom point, and we're moving up 1, 2, 3, 4 to get in on the same plane as this line. So I moved up 4, so positive 4, and then I moved to the right 1, 2, 3, 3 to the right. So I'm moving up 4, 3 to the right, and right is positive, so my number is positive at the bottom. My slope is 4/3, okay? M always represents slope. So slope here, 7/2, -2, 7/2, my slope is negative. How would you know your slope is negative? Look at these lines here. We know that this type of line is a negative line. If it's moving in this direction, it's a negative line. This is a positive slope. That's how we should know that. It's a positive slope. It moves in a positive direction. So that's why that 4/3 is positive. Okay. For the next page, they want you to find the slope using 2 points. So here you would label your points first. So the formula to find slope, which is M, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the slope formula. And in order to label your points, please understand in one point, there's always an X and there's always a Y in one point. So this is going to be X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay? So remember that there's always an X and a Y in each point. Okay? So now you're going to use the formula in order to solve the problem. So we're just going to replace, to find slope, which is M, Y2 is going to be -3. So -3 minus, and then Y1 is 4 over X2, which is 8, minus X1, which is 3. Okay? So -3 minus 4, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, please don't feel bad. Use your calculator to help you get what you need, okay? -3 minus 4 is going to be -7. And 8 minus 3 is 5, okay? So our slope in this case is -7 over 5, all right? Find the slope here. Again, X1, Y1, each point has an X and a Y. X2, Y2. The slope formula is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Y2 in this case is -9. -9 minus Y1 here is -2 over X2, which is 3, minus X1 is -5. Okay? And if you don't feel comfortable with all the minuses and negatives, just put in your calculator. -9 minus parentheses -2. My answer there is -7. And you should know that if it has minus a negative, it becomes plus. -9 plus 2 is -7. And here, again, it's plus. 3 plus 5 is 8. -7 over 8 is your answer for slope. Okay? Given 2 points. So again, I'll just do one of these because it's the same thing. Find the slope of the line. I'll do the last one, X1, Y1. Each point has an X and a Y. X2, Y2. My formula is M, which is slope, Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay. So my Y2 looks like 8. 8 minus -8 over X2 is 7 minus, and then X1 is 7. Okay. So 8 minus -8 basically is X plus 8. 8 plus 8, which is 16, over, 7 minus 7? That's 0. Okay. Anytime you have a 0 at the bottom of an a fraction, it's undefined for slope. Okay, so this slope is undefined. I'm guessing up here, let's try this one. So this one is X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So Y2 here is -3 minus Y1 is 7. I think that's a 7. Yeah. Over -2 minus -2, which of course becomes plus. -3 minus 7, -10, over 0. -2 plus 2, 0. This is also undefined. Okay. If you have a 0 at the top, let's say that this became 0 and this became -10. If you have a 0 at the top, your answer is 0, not undefined. Undefined is when the 0 is at the bottom only. Okay. If you had a 0 at the top and a number at the bottom, your answer would be 0, not undefined. All right, so let's look at here. Graph the line with y-intercept of 2 and slope of 3 over 5. So if you remember from the a couple days ago when we were graphing, or last matter of fact, day 3 of unit 5, day 3, we were graphing, starting with your y-intercept always. So your y-intercept is 2. So at 2, I'm going to put a little dot there. Okay, put a dot at 2. And then you use your slope. Positive 3, so up 3, right 5. Or, as we said before, the opposite is also true. Down 3, left 5 for your slope. So we're going to go from the y-intercept. We're going up 3, 1, 2, 3, and right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, using our y-intercept, we're going down 3. 1, 2, 3, left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, it's hard to see a little. All right. So that would be your graph of line. If only I could draw a straight line, okay? But it's supposed to be on the dot. All right, so let's graph here. Graph the line with slope of -3, y-intercept of -2. So we always start with your y-intercept of -2. And your slope is -3 over 1, which means down 3, right 1, or 3 over -1, which is up 3, left 1. So at this point of y-intercept, we will go up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 1. And of course, we could keep going. And then go back to the y-intercept, go up 3. Oh, sorry, that's not correct. It's up 3. It's up 3, left 1. Up 3, left 1. Sorry. Okay. And then down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 1. There you go. Okay. And that is our line. Okay, using our slope and y-intercept. Now, last page, they're asking you to graph the line with a slope passing through the point 5, -1. Okay, so with this particular one, they want you to first use this point. Instead of y-intercept, we have a point on the graph. And once we have the point, we can use our slope, 2 over 3, which is up to right 3, or we know it's also -2, down 2, left 3 is also true. Okay, so but we have to start here because we don't have a y-intercept to start with. We're going to start at this point. So at 5, -1, so we're going to go to the left 5, positive 5. Positive 5, down 1. That is our starting point, 5, -1. Okay, and then from there, we're going to use up to right 3. So from here, up to right 3 in graph a point. And then from this, we're going to go down to left 3. And this is our line. Okay, so if they give you a point, use that point and the slope to graph it. Same thing here. The slope is -2 over +1, which means down 2, right 1, or to -1, up to left 1 is also true. Okay, so use this point first, 2, 3, 2. So I'm going to the right 3, up 2, and I'm going to put a point there. That's the point I'm going to use first. Then I'm going down 2, right 1. And then here, back to the point I was, back to 3, 2, and go up 2, left 1. Put a point there. That is my line I'm graphing. Okay. And that is all you do for that. All right, that is unit 5, day 4.